Here we go again. Oh man. We're gonna start off, actually this is F part 2, so we're not starting anything here except for F part 2. And the first one is the floating bridge. So like, I guess the thing in the 60s, and I did grow up in the 60s, is like, what's the trippiest, weirdest name you can think of? Chocolate Watch Band? Okay, sure, why not? 13th floor elevators? Yeah, there's no 13th floor in most buildings, so yeah, that sounds good. The weirdest you can get. Floating bridge. 3 stars. It's an okay psych. All of side 1 is excellent, I said. So, floating bridge. Floating bridge. Let's see what we say about floating bridge. They're from Seattle, Washington. West Coast psych. Some little blues going on here on Vault Records. Vault had some good psych. Not a lot, but 69. Floating Bridge. This next band, I know you're sick of hearing this by now. Oh, they're so good. My favorite? Not my favorite, but really good. This is a shout out to my friend Hase in Japan. One of the great Japanese psychs. The Flower Traveling Band on GRT Records. Where's the GRT? Where is it here? Somewhere. I don't know. But this is a kick-ass psychedelic. The Flower Traveling Band. They had a number of albums. They were from Japan. And they were wild hippie freaks. And this album has got amazing guitar on it. These guys, plus it's got that Japanese vibe too. There we go, GRT Records. Brought to you by the Vinyl Museum. One of the many record stores that have come and gone over the decades. They may still be there. But thank you so much for Flower Traveling Band, which is, I'd say, 4, almost 5-star hard psych. Yeah, a lot of it's sung in Japanese, but with that guitar, who cares? This next band is a Dutch band, and I'm sure you've heard of them, Focus. And this includes their great instrumental, Hocus Pocus by Focus, which is so much to say, so much fun to say. Focus, nice, kind of psyche, but definitely hard rock, kicking hard rock. And it had a hit to boot, an instrumental in the late 60s, which was so, I mean, to have a hit as an instrumental, you got to be really, really good. And they were. This is a great song. Side 2 is a side-long psych explosion called Eruption. Eruption by Focus. Eruption. Now, there's a number of Focus albums. Here's the second one, In and Out of Focus, which is, this one's kind of in and out of focus because it's still in the shrink. And then there's the third Focus album. And this features a nice lenticular rainbow cover. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's 2 versions of this. You can get it with and without the lenticular stuff. You want to get it, you try to get it that way if you can. This is a double album, and there's a lot of jamming going on here, as you can imagine. Focus was a jam band. It's like the Grateful Dead on steroids, maybe. I'm going to get some comments on that one. This is another Focus album. A lot of Focus. Hamburger Concerto. And they're good albums. But wait, there's more. What would you pay for 5 Focus albums? Good stuff. All good stuff. This is... I think this is another, like a greatest hits, or I see Eruptions on here, Hocus Pocus. No, this is live. Live at the Rainbow. This is a live album. And those live albums, as you probably know, are a good way for bands to stretch out. Bands which on an album may seem kind of claustrophobic. Live albums are going to stretch you out and give you some wonderful soloing. So, it's a great thing. We love those live albums. The sound quality is not quite as good sometimes, but it's really good. This next band is from Chicago. It's orchestrated pop psych. It's got some a dreaminess to it, like the Zombies, and those are so special. Food, Forever is a Dream. 4 stars. Great early psych. Wild fuzz guitar. It's on Capitol. I see I've highlighted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've highlighted every song on the album. It was released in '69, but it sounds like 1967. Weirdness abounds. Songs are connected in places. Lots of psych effects on this one. And I remember I had to go through a couple copies to get a decent sounding copy, so that maybe it had some pressing issues. But nice 4-star psych with all the effects you want there. Backward vocals and phasing and fuzz and weird sound effects. Everything you love. Some people say that psychedelic music was meant to mimic a trip, which, like an acid trip. There's some truth to that, I think. It's a lot safer. There's a lot of people who love psych that don't do acid. I don't do acid anymore. It's too freaky, too out there. Not that I'm not condemning or condoning here. It's just, I've tried it. It's enough for me. This next band was a spin-off of the Beatles, who gave us so much stuff. And this band was from England. They were involved with the Beatles Boutique when they had it. It was the band called The Fool. And there's some nice videos about these guys on YouTube. A nice psych, surprisingly. Boy, look at those graphics. Amazing stuff here. It's the kind of thing you could just contemplate for a long time. And it's a Unipack. Unipacks are kind of fun because they keep the dust and those little mice off this stuff. 3 stars. Mystical folk with psych sound effects like incredible string band. Worked for the Beatles at the Apple Boutique. We talked about that. It has bagpipe and acoustic guitars. Good songs. Fly. Nice sound effects on Fly. Voice on the Wind has a bagpipe solo. Rainbow Man rocks. 4-star. No One Will Ever. 3-star. Nice with Indian instrumentation. Reincarnation. Weird, like incredible string band. Keep On. Whatever this thing says. Is a 4-star jug band psych. I don't know you could have 4 stars on jug band music. Oh, I got corrected. It also has a nice saxophone, Indian mystical, and laid down as Indian psych with flute. So, The Fool. And they even got their own label there. All right, The Fool. This was on Mercury, and I don't think that's essential, but I mean, if you're a cover person, and what psych person doesn't love wild covers? You gotta have this, man. I still give it 3 stars. It's got enough stuff on there. The Fool. You'd be a fool not to get it. Now we're getting into the Fords. And I'm not talking about Fix or Repair Daily. Now, I have owned a few Fords over the years. And the first Ford I'm going to talk about is Neil Ford and the Fanatics. This looks like more of a mid-60s thing. Like Young Rascals or something. And you wouldn't be far wrong here. He designed Hickory Records. Gotta love it. It's not a local label, but it's certainly an obscure label. 3 stars, rare mid-60s rock with psych. Woo, woo, like the Yardbirds. So I'm sure they got some great leads. Very Beatlish, British Invasion with blues rock touches. And there's some good punk on here too. 1 times 1, good punk. Neil Ford and the Fanatics. So if you're into that getting into psych thing, like the first 13-4 Elevators album, this will be a fun one for you. Neil Ford and the Fanatics. Now we're in a band called Ford Theater. Now Ford Theater was a great band from Massachusetts. Trippy. This is the first album. A wonderful psych. Of course, you got the eyeball thing going. And you know we were all obsessed with eyeballs back then. It was that part of that introspective looking glass thing, I guess. But this is a great psych. Wonderful stuff. What do we say here? I'm running out of time. I gotta speed this thing up. 4 stars, great psych. Yeah, we knew that. And they had a second album, bless their hearts. We love that, where the bands get a second chance. Not as good. Fourth Theater, Time Changes. They're all dressed up like Roman gladiators and crazy guys. Typical fun stuff. One of them's a pirate. Time Changes. So they're really trying to get this thing going on the graphics department. Musically, 3 stars. Nice pop psych. Has got some hard stuff in here, like I've Got. Some of it's like Jefferson Airplane. So it's not a killer like the first one, but still solid psych. How can you go wrong? I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, we got more stuff here, as you could imagine. Yours Forevermore. This is a nice little psych. They were from Scotland, and they relocated to London. It's from 1970. Forevermore. And it is a gatefold. You got all that psyche graphics in there. As I recall, this is getting more towards the progressive era one. It's not a heavy psych. You're not going to get sound effects on this one, but just great guitar and mature compositions. I remember that was a very well written stuff. They did have a second album, Words on Black Plastic. And this one is not as good. It's not in that. Wait a minute. Whoa. Ho. 4 stars. And I say it's psyche rock. So this is their second album. Words on Black Plastic. Psych. This has got to be one of the most horrible names for a psychedelic band. The Fort Mudge Memorial Dump. Fort Mudge Memorial and Dump. Oh, and by the way, the other day I was talking about the Deviants, and I said you couldn't see their name on the cover. Sometimes these names are kind of hard to see, but you can indeed see the name on the cover of the Deviants. And that's right there. The Deviants. We're done with those D's. Tell me more about Fort Mudge. Fort Mudge Dump. These guys, another unit pack. Got some good psychedelic stuff in there. You know you're in for a good time, man. You know they're going to be rocking those jams, kicking those jams out. 4 stars. Good hard psych. Got this in Boulder, Colorado back in 1988. Paid a whole $3 for it. Most records then and now sell for $3. And you know, if you love the music, get it. Weird hard psych, 5 stars. Blues rock, folky psych, great weird psych, progressive psych. You got it all here. Lyrical, hard psych, great guitar, acoustical, moody. It's got it all. Fort Mudge. These guys knew their art. They were accomplished. They went nowhere. Great psych though. The name horrible. This next one is more of that Eastern stuff. The Quorum. The Quorum. Oh, by the way, Fort Mudge were from Boston. The Quorum, I don't know where these guys were from. I know where they ended up, though. Quorum, 3 stars, organ and flute psych. Some good guitar. Eastern influences. A lot like the Young Rascals, probably in the later when they became the Rascals and they were into peace, love, and understanding. Good stuff here. Different psychs. Quorum. Good stuff. The next one is For Fuck's Sake. The Fucks. Now the Fucks. This is from 1970. They're on Crew Records. Everybody heard of Crew Records, right? This is almost a local label, I'd say. This is pretty obscure stuff. What about the Fox? 3 stars, psych, rock, good organ, guitar, sort of like Traffic. Ooh, Traffic. Pretty rare on Crew Records. with the poster attached. This was you were intended to tear this Fox thing off here. It is blank on the inside here, so it is intended to be torn off, and you end up with this instead. But it's there's the back. You can only see by tearing it off. Thank goodness they didn't tear it off. I would have. It's good psych. Rocking hard psych, sitar psych, protest psych, psych like traffic, acoustic, moody, great guitar psych, psyche psych psych. This next one is one that's a really hard psych. It's called Fraction, and Fraction was from Los Angeles. They say Jim Morrison vocals on this one. I wasn't that crazy about it. Oh yeah, it is Jim Morrison. No, I was that crazy about it. I don't know. This is a reissue. This is not the original. The original is like $1,000 or more. 4-star Doorsy Garagey Psych, raw and eerie. We like eerie. Intense. 1969. Fraction. I'd forgotten about this one. Fraction. Now, if you cared a fraction about that, you might get frantic about this one. This is another fun one. It's on Lizard Records. Oh yeah, everybody knows Lizard Records. There they are. And I'm sure you can guess, it is indeed Psych. What else with a cover like that? This one's more of a kind of a hard rock, though, as I recall. Frantic. Yeah, it's from 1970. It's a hard rock record. Hard rockin' 60s with psychedelia thrown in for good measure. But it also has some punk aspects to it, too. And who can go wrong with a Lizard record? Next we have a band which was also part of the soundtrack to Easy Rider with Peter Fonda and Dennis and the gang. And that's the Fraternity of Man. Dennis Hopper. The Fraternity of Man. And that's that great song, Don't Bogart That Joint, My Friend. Pass it over to me. 4 stars. Great mix, country rock, and wild psych. Wild psych. It's got side 2 good songs. 5-star psych, psych blues, funny country and western, psych, cult classic, Don't Bogart, Zappa psych, Frank Zappa, of course. A couple duds, but a great album, Fraternity of Man. Get it? It's psych, I tell ya. They had a second album. I don't think I have that one, but I do have this one. Freak Scene, Psychedelic Soul. Freak Scene, Psychedelic Soul. It's another one of those exploitos. There are so many of them. This one was on Columbia. The Freak Scene. And they were from Philadelphia. Follow up to the Deep Psychedelic Moods. I never got the Deep Psychedelic Moods, which is also a very collectible album. But this has got good sound effects. A 3-star classic 1967 Psych. Some goofy freakouts, some good stuff. Lots of fuzz guitar. Oriental Eastern ragas. Bongos, chants. Kitchen sinks. It's a good psychedelic album, even though it's exploitos. It's one of those exploitos that worked out. And how can you go wrong with an eyeball cover? This next one is a great comp. Oh my goodness! It's on Sidewalk Records, home of the hits. Now this is called Freak Scene, and I'm sorry, not Freak Scene. That's another one. Freak Out. I freaked out. Freak Out USA. Freak Out USA features some covers here. Psychotic Reaction, Season of the Witch. But the best thing about it is it includes a number of bands you never heard of. It is a comp, but it's a brilliant comp. It's so brilliant, I've got it in my main collection under F. It's got the Aftermath, The Hands of Time, Mom's Boys, International Theater Foundation, The Glass Family, which we're going to talk about real soon. The Glass Family. Mom's Boys, again. The Mugwumps, which was a San Francisco band, kind of folk rock, but pretty good. Everybody's Children. Not the Neighborhood's Children. Everybody's Children. The Gestures and the Hands of Time again. This was such a great one. I got this in Austin, Texas, which is the only place to get rare records. eBay, but you can play grade them in Austin if you bring your own turntable. Just a great, I'd say at least 4-star comp. This next one is John Fred and the Playboy Band, Judy in Disguise. I know you're gonna say that's not Psych. Well, I think Judy in Disguise itself. Here's the second cover to capitalize on the popularity of John. This was the first cover, and but this is great stuff. John Fred, I know. I think he was from Tennessee. I don't know where he's from. Sorry, I don't remember everything, but great pop, punk, a little psyche in places. I love John Fred. He just had a great career. And he had a number of albums. There were 4 albums. 3440 of John Fred and his Playboy Band. I don't have that one. I do have the third one, Permanently Stated. And this is what puts John firmly into the psychedelic genre. Permanently Stated. Now you know what you're getting here, man. You're getting the wild stuff. The wild John. Wild John, wild. And this, as Rolling Stone reviewed in their book years ago, this is a forgotten masterpiece of psychedelia. This is a wonderful, wonderful. You used to be able to find this seal for like $5. I don't know what it goes for now. Probably it goes for 10 now. It's not rare, but I mean, how can you go wrong? But musically, it's fabulous. I think they gave it at least 4 stars, which is unusual. Okay, this next band is a British band. It's more in the hard rock, early 70s category, but certainly their early stuff featured some good psyche stuff here. Free. And Fire and Water. Mr. Big, all right now. Great stuff. I also have Free Live. And Heartbreaker by Free, and this is got that great song, With Your Heart in the Wishing Well. Heartbreaker, Psych, rock, yeah, good stuff, man, good stuff. Here's the best of Free, if you're only looking for one. This next album is one of my favorites. I gotta speed up here because it's gonna be a long video. Freeborn, Peak Impressions. Oh my goodness. Great dreamy psych. Now there's only maybe 5 seconds of hard, raw fuzz guitar on this album. You'll still love it. 4-star light psych. Very nice. Beautiful in places. Great organ. Some guitar and horns. Moody. Lightweight in places, but blues rock. Stately. Trippy. Avant-garde. But I must return to frenzy. This is a psych that will haunt your dreams. This is a psych that will live in your subconscious forever. It's so great. I can't say enough about it. Here's another early 70s hard rock, Freedom. I believe these guys were British, and just really great stuff. Just like Deep Purple, that kind of thing. Maybe a little more progressive than that, though. A little more jamming out. Freedom. Good hard rock, lots of guitar. 1971. Get your freedom. Now we have and this is definitely a local crazy album. Froggy Beaver from the Pond. Or maybe it's from the Pond, Froggy Beaver. That's pretty froggy, but there's not much beaver there. This is an interesting album. It's most of it I don't care for. But there's a really long cut on there. It's like, whoa, man. Away. It's called Away from Home. 9 minutes and 43 seconds. Which is like Pink Floyd. Moody. Stately. Good guitar. There's other stuff on here that's kind of good. 3-star acoustical light rock. Nice light pop. 3 stars. But that long cut, that's what makes Froggy Beaver who we love. Love that Froggy. Now we have a, it's kind of exploited, kind of not. It was a hit. Max Frost and the Troopers, Shape of Things to Come. And interesting little psych on Tower Records. Tower had some duds, not too many. 3.5 star psych rock. Not bad. Not bad. Max Frost. Froggy Beaver, by the way, is from Omaha, Nebraska. Okay. Next, we have a very interesting band called Frost. And this was a Midwest band. I'm not sure where they were from. This is on Vanguard. And they had 3 albums, and they're all fabulous. This is the first Frost album, Hard Rock Psych. Let's see what we say here. Frost. I get this one sealed for $1. That's the way it was back then. Frost. 1969. Eclectic. A fuzz guitar. Great fuzz guitar. More fuzz. A 6-star psych song called Take Something. So take it. I'll pay for it first. Take My Hand. Just wonderful. Hard. Fuzz. Psych. 69. And there's more. Their second album, To the Eyes of Love, also great psych. Wonderful stuff. Black as Night, Maybe Tomorrow. Dick Wagner, same lineup. Wonderful guys. Vanguard Records. Home of Circus Maximus. And the Frost still trying to make it somehow. Hey, we'll give you rock and roll, man. No more psych. Well, this is where they're cranking it. On the Grande Ballroom in Detroit, where my wife went. They had a lot of great bands there. Some great posters out of the Grande, too. Good old Russ Myers. But this is their third and last album. All kicking. Great stuff. Not rare. You will find it. It'll be out there. This next band is a psych. But it's the zany craziness. More like Frank Zappa and the Mothers, Bonzo Dog Band. Oh, these guys are a little more graphic than the rest of them. The Fugs on ESP. And you know them. Slum Goddess of Love. I Lost My Mind. Frenzy. Kill for Peace. Ed Sanders is behind all that insanity. This is a great cover, isn't it? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Fugs. It's not psych, but it's definitely 60s. It's in there. Live at the Fillmore East. He crawled into my hands. Honest. Then Ed Sanders had a great solo career. Beer Cans on the Moon. What summarizes the United States more than that? Beer Cans on the Moon. Okay. Only 2 more to go. Ho! I fought the law and the law won. Not psych, but I gotta mention Bobby Fuller, killed by the mafia. A Buddy Holly guy who deserved to live. This last one, and this is the last with the F's, featured Rick Nielsen on guitar from Cheap Trick. Fuse, a superb, hard, psyche stuff. Where is he? There he is, without his Bowery Boys makeup on. Rick Nielsen, amazing guitar, great stuff. A 5-star hard rock, 5 stars. Oh, but this is funny. Nielsen played rhythm guitar on this one. I'm sure he snuck in some leads there. That's it, folks. Thank you. See you next. See you with the G's next.